private things out, right? I just want to check in with everybody if everyone's happy to share. And then yeah. Hi, John, how are you? Okay, I'm just going to go around the
Yeah, I'm doing good.
yes.
Um,
Anything to report?
no, still looking.
Still looking? Okay. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
This is the best thing you could be doing in your spare time, however.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You just don't give up, that's all. Okay. And Laurie, how are you this week?
I'm doing good. Yeah, thank you for asking.
Yeah. Anything you wanted to add from
Uh, Not really, just doing my thing. I have my quiet mornings and do some journaling and stuff like that.
okay.
So that's going well.
Okay. All right. And Sheila, I didn't ask Patty. I'll get to Patty. Doing okay?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. Yeah.
Okay. Anything anything new from the week? Any
Uh,
new insights? Nothing?
well, no,
Something?
I've been, I think I mentioned last week, based on Patty's inspiration, getting up in the morning and trying to
Yes.
spend some time without doing anything.
Yes. How's that been
My
going?
practice. It's hard.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm leaving my phone like by the bed instead of picking it up right away and trying to like notice like when I'm sitting still in the morning, not making lists to-do lists, just trying to like
In your head, you mean?
yeah, in my head, enjoy just settling.
Okay.
But it's harder than I thought.
It is hard because if you're used to sort of waking up and then all of a sudden thinking, okay, what am I doing today? That's where the brain goes.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you wake up and go, wow, I've got like 5 or 10 minutes, I think I'll just sit here for a minute. Yeah. So it's almost like you have to give yourself permission to do that.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
The
at first
night.
I do an hour, but I cut it down to a half hour.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Hour
that's
was like
very
way too
ambitious
far.
and
Yeah.
fantastic. Like I think I would be good with 5 minutes. Okay. 5 minutes. I have to keep getting up earlier and earlier in order to fit all these extra things in, and it becomes an extra thing. So
Yeah.
anyway, I don't mind that.
It's very nice. It's a nice way
Okay,
to
good. It is a nice way to start the day. And Linda, how are you? How are you doing after last week?
Yes, I added, I don't know which one is my microphone. I added the nine uh
9 round breathing? Okay,
9 round
cool.
breathing to my morning. I also stopped waking up with Mr. Trump a while ago. So I don't put
Yeah,
any social
so
media
disturbing.
on, nothing like that. But I added the nine, and it really was nice. Really was
Isn't it
energizing
nice?
and very,
Yeah,
yeah. It's and
it
I knew
is.
how to do it before, but some, you need remembering, you need reminding. So
I
you
know.
reminded me.
Yeah,
Thank you.
because we
And it,
okay, good because we have all these tools and we just forget to use them. And so anyway, congratulations. It's also very grounding. Did you find that practice grounding?
yes, very,
Because
very
there's a
much. I
lot
had a
of
really good week.
great, that's fantastic. Because it's a little, when you look at the news, it looks a little disturbing. And it's like, what was going to happen? I was like, what on earth's going on? I mean, this is super crazy. Anyway, so if you can stop your mind from going there, that'd be really helpful. If you can see that's my practice. But and Ranji, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Yes.
Um, I'm doing the DB course with Gus Coots, and that's been going on for some while.
Which one are you
And
doing? What are you up to?
the module we're on right now is establishing a daily practice.
Oh, right at the end.
I think it's module 9 we're on. I don't
Oh,
even remember.
yeah, you're a long way in. Well
Yeah,
done.
so we're looking at the overlaps
Okay.
with the two. So yeah, it's been a good week.
The overlaps of
Well, so for example, he went through the whole discussion of what it means to establish a good practice and all the things
uh
you should do, and it's quite a long list.
oh yeah.
And
It is
so
a lot of
it's
things. I
being
know.
supplemented, at least for me, by what we're doing in this.
Okay.
class.
It shouldn't contradict at all because same lineage, same teachers, but sometimes, like if I really did my practice kind of completely as I feel like I would like to, it would take me 2 hours to get out of the house in the morning. And I'm not able to do that right now. But a few years ago, I think it was 2014, Rinpoche sent me up to Laudo to do some retreat. He's like, so funny. He's like, how would you like to go to Laudo to do retreat? And I'm like, oh, yes, I would love to. It's like, thank you for giving me permission. And so I asked Venerable Rabina, well, what would you suggest? And she just suggested regular, just what I would normally do through the day. And it was very spacious. And that was the thing that I really enjoyed, was just having time to be able to do all of my practices kind of properly without rushing through them and thinking that I had other things I have to do. And yeah, it's a real luxury. And so then I think you have, for me, I find I have to sometimes can't do everything all at once. There's certain practices I have to do every day, but there are some things that may not be able to do every single day. And that sort of decision would be best discussed with your teacher. But also you can, use your own intelligence to decide. Um, anyway, okay, thanks for that. Alejandra. Is it Alexandra or Alejandra?
Go
Alex.
buy everything.
You go by everything? Okay, Al.
Yes.
If you're in Australia, we'd be calling you Al by now. That would be
Yes.
it. Or Ali.
Yeah. Allie, yeah. Um, Thank you. Yeah, I'm listening to what everybody is saying, and I really resonate with what everybody is recognizing. It's difficult to have a practice and consistent practice. So, as you maybe know, 6:30 in the morning, my time, I'm 30 minutes meditating with you
With
and the
us,
other
yeah.
venerables.
Yeah.
And this morning, because I had to leave the house in Nevada at 6:30 to go to the airport, I
Uh,
didn't have my meditation time. I didn't have
uh,
my chapter of Lamrim. I didn't have my
uh,
journaling. I didn't.
uh,
I am so disoriented
oh,
today.
interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is interesting.
So
It
good to
is.
see you here. You can reel it back in.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thanks for
Venerable.
sharing that. Mary, how are you doing? Nice to see you here because I know, is it time that you would be making dinner for your mother or something like that?
We had a pizza tonight.
Oh, so good. Did you organize that so you could come here?
Well, I was scheduled. I apologize for not being here, but I was
Oh,
asked to host on an emergency basis the last two Fridays. So,
oh, I'm sorry you missed it. Never mind.
yeah.
Never mind. Anyway, it's
So,
really good to
anyway,
see
so
you.
I'm here now and glad to
Nice
be
to see.
here and um, all the reminders I need. But I'm also
Yeah.
doing all right. I'm also doing okay. Um, I'm doing the best I can.
You are doing the best you can. And I think it's important that we all remember, however you're turning up this evening, it's totally fine because that's just where we're at. So we can't be anywhere else. And Mary, do you want to share a little bit about your home? No? Okay. She doesn't want to go there.
Okay, I'll share one thing. So
Just let us.
I moved across the country. I'm taking care of my mother in this old gingerbread house. And in November, I had a small fire in the Gompa. And Patty knows, and you knew Venerable. But with the winter, and it was a hard winter, I take care of my mother and a dying dog. And I haven't made the time to repaint and do everything. And my goal was to get that done 2 weeks ago. And I have to say, made an incredible difference having my sanctuary again. It's just like a giant closet, but having it with fresh paint and cleaning everything, um, and having a place to go to sit in the morning and at night and to take a break during the day. Having a dedicated space makes an incredible difference.
Right. Yeah. And I think, not everybody has that. So I think you're really fortunate. And Ranji, did they mention anything about that in the Discovering Buddhism to have a dedicated spot, even if it's just a cushion?
Yeah, I mean, they talked a lot about, clearing a place, and Gus has talked about that before, having a special place, a dedicated area.
Yeah.
So it sets you up mentally when you go to the
Yes.
space, you know exactly what you're going to be doing.
What it's
Just a
for.
little bit of about preparing the mind as well.
Yeah. It's like going into the Gompa. And also when you do practice in there, you build up energy in that space, with the mantras and the practices and the chanting and the whatever meditation, whatever else you're doing. And I've even noticed, at the YMCA, we're in a room called the club room, and it's fairly small, has mirrors, um, small, but I mean, it will fit 25 people doing Tai Chi Chuan in a squashed way. So I can get 25, 26 people in there to meditate. And what I'm starting to notice about that room, because we do 2 meditations a week, we do 3 Tai Chi Chuan practices, which is really a Qigong kind of movement, meditation, moving meditation. And that room is starting to fill up. As soon as we sit down, everybody comes in and they sit down, they pull the blinds down because the car park is out there, and then they turn the lights down. And you can see they're all just ready to go. And it's almost like this is their dedicated space to meditate. And everybody comes in and that's what they're doing. They're kind of like we have our Gompa. So if you can set that up for yourself at home, even if it's a little chair in a corner or a cushion on the floor, that's your spot. And I have one friend who has a little spot out in the forest somewhere, and that's where she'll go if she needs to think or do things like that. And yeah. And Patty, how have you been? I mean, this was just wonderful what you shared with Sheila. So she shared it with us. So thank you.
Yeah. I'm doing okay. I wasn't here last week, but I
Yeah,
did listen to the
we
recording.
missed you.
Thank you. Thank you. I was in Kansas City at my cousin's celebration of life service.
Oh, okay.
So, but it was a joyful gathering. So many of us, we hadn't seen each other in a long time,
Mm-hmm.
and some of the first cousins once removed, I hadn't even met before, and
Right. Oh,
so
nice.
yeah, so it was sad, but good, good.
Good.
We've lost 3 cousins in a year and a half.
Oh,
So, we're all getting to that age.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, not that younger people don't die too, but um, so
Yes.
yeah,
Mhm.
so that was okay. But I did enjoy listening to the meditation, and yeah, I can't remember exactly what I was going to say listening to everyone, but I just want to say that I'm just so glad Mary is here, and she's an inspiration because what's that saying? Um, when things get tough, the tough get going, keep going, or
Yeah.
something like that. And that reminds me of her. So, yeah, so I'm just happy to be back, and I'm just enjoying this class very, very much.
So
Yeah.
Mary hosts my morning meditations for Dr. Norbert Ling, and you used to you were the first host, I think, for the Vajrasattva in the evening. And then Mary had to move across the country to take care of her mum, who has she's aging at home, which is quite tough on the caregivers. So, Mary, you're doing a great job, and thank you again. Much appreciation for the work you do in the mornings. Just very present. Thank you so much. So, what we're doing today, we're up to session 4 of this course, and we're looking at functional thinking. And we're doing a couple of very sweet meditations. So let's just start by settling into a nice, comfortable seated posture. And so what I've been becoming more and more aware of this, because I just had this assumption that everybody had a nice, quiet home, but it doesn't always mean that is not always the case. And I also see private clients, and it occurred to me that one person I've been working with doesn't have a private space, and that changes everything considerably. So I think also too the same thing for your spiritual practice. Have as much as you can. It's difficult if you're living with people, but as much as you can, a private space when you're doing your practice, and particularly when you're doing these sessions, because also the other people in the room are sharing things that might be personal. And if your microphone is off and you don't have headphones in, the people in the house can hear what these other people are saying. So I just want to bring everybody's attention to that, because it makes people maybe a little less comfortable to speak and share. So if you do have a situation where other people can either listen in to what other people are saying, or you don't have complete privacy so that you can actually focus, see what you can do to try and make that happen, just for your own individual practice, but also when you're doing these kinds of courses. So anyway, just that said, and I have a little announcement to make at the end. Kandra Rinpoche, who's an extraordinary practitioner, Lama Zopa Rinpoche talked about as being this Dakini. I met her. She came to Rinpoche's house in Aptos when I was there. It was very intense because she's quite a high being, and then Rinpoche's also there, so it was like a very interesting time. She's coming to, I'll just say it now, she's coming to New York, and she'll be at the Garrison Institute leading a 3-day retreat. So, and I think sounds like it's an analytical retreat on emptiness. So if that interests anybody, think about it. Anyway, she's kind of extraordinary. She has a translator. Somehow she really understands how to get things across to Westerners. I was really kind of impressed when she came down here. She came a couple of years ago. She was here at Atlanta Medicine Buddha. Anyway, I just want to let you all know about that. That's coming up. And then I guess also, for those of you who know Venerable Rabina, she's leading a 3-day retreat on Vajrasattva as well at the Garrison Institute through Shantideva. Anyway, let's go back to our class now. Have both feet flat on the floor, about a hip's width apart if you're not already sitting in a cross-legged position. And then just feel the sensation of the weight of the feet on the floor. And then you can feel maybe the tops of the foot, and then the backs of the legs on the chair. And the weight of your pelvis as it just releases into the chair, and your sits bones in the chair. And have both hands resting in your lap. Maybe you can have them in the traditional meditation mudra for our lineage, which is the right hand nestled in the left with the thumbs touching, but you don't have to, if it's not comfortable. And then just see if you can align your shoulders with your hips and your ears with your shoulders. And you might, in order to do that, you might want to lengthen the neck a little bit and have your chin is tipped down very slightly, but not too far down, not too high up. It's somewhere in the middle. Like everything in Buddhism, it tends to be all the middle way. And then just go to the crown of the head and release any tension there, relaxing the scalp and the forehead and the eyes, the back of the eyes and the nose and the cheeks and that area around the mouth and the jaw, the ears and the back of the head. And allow the shoulders and the shoulder blades to drop down. Relax the throat and the chest and the belly and all of your limbs. Just releasing your weight. And then just bring to mind your breath. Just notice the sensations of the air as you inhale and exhale. The nostrils. Maybe you notice the breath at the tip of the nose, or perhaps the base of the nose, which is where I was taught. And then just bring your attention to your chest cavity. And, we're designed to expand our lungs and our rib cage in a 360-degree direction. So we, evenly expanding outwards, contracting in, so that, as we breathe in, the diaphragm just drops down and makes room for all the lungs and the air. And as you exhale, everything kind of comes back into place and diaphragm rises up again. So there's a lot happening in this sort of all this apparatus here. Some people feel the belly. They like to focus on the belly. So you choose one of those 3 areas that work for you. And then just being aware of any kind of strange sounds in your environment, anything unexpected. Also be aware of what is expected. And try not to investigate the sounds. Try not to follow the sound with the mind. And then just check in with your mind this evening. Just how are you doing? How's your day been? It's the kind of thing you might ask your friend, someone you might be living with when they come home. How's it been today? What are you feeling? What are you thinking? How's your mind? It's almost like we're doing a mental journaling. And then just notice as the thoughts arise and abide, and then just allow them to dissipate. Like popping one of those electrolyte pills or vitamin C tablets into water, and they all just sort of dissolve. So try not to judge what's in your mind, not to have any opinions or conversations about what's going on in your mind. So one thing to consider in our meditation is you're watching your mind and you're watching your body and checking all of this. And who's watching the watcher? Just a little thing to consider. So when we're in our meditation, you can maybe just imagine you're about to break into a smile, but you don't quite. So you lift the corners of your mouth as if you're about to break into a smile. This really lifts the mind, I find. Some people also suggest you can put the tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. That traditionally is to stop us from, when you're meditating for a long time and then you start to dribble, it stops you from dribbling. So, I mean, if you're that experienced in meditation, that's something you might need to think about. But I think at our level, maybe we don't. But anyway, it's just preparing. And then because we are in this Tibetan Buddhist tradition, I just do a little equanimity meditation here. So bring to mind your loved ones you really care about, the ones that you would miss terribly if they weren't here. You can see their face, you know what makes them laugh, you know what brings them joy. And then we have people in our life that we don't really like. We have aversion for them and we just kind of push them away. While other people might find their jokes funny, we do not. It's called aversion. And then we have strangers in our life, so many, particularly if you're living in a big city, or for those of us in here in the Bay Area, it's busy. Getting from one place to the next always takes a bit of contemplation, logistics, and traveling around with lots of other people. So all these other people, so if you look into a car window when you get to a traffic light, look into the window of next person's car next to you, or in through the back window without being weird about it. Just get a glimpse of them and recognize that that's a human being with grief and love and joy and sadness and financial problems and budgets and work issues, family issues, thinking about what they're going to make for dinner. So just like you and me. And all these people, the relationships we have with them are due to impermanence. They're not necessarily fixed. They can change. And they can change places, these groups. So I think no matter how you feel about any one particular person at any one particular time, all of these people are equal in that they do want to be happy, they don't want to suffer, and they all have an extraordinary capacity for a Buddha mind. So, we are already 28 minutes in. So it's good to even think about this practice that we're doing today, these beautiful meditations that have been sort of put together by one very sweet man in the FPMT, based on Nagarjuna's teachings. We're going to do these practices for all these people of our life, and by extension, all sentient beings. For those of you, I think it was just Mary in the thing this morning. I did these morning mantras, and some of them are, the purpose of them is to multiply the merit that you create doing certain practices. So when you think about if you anybody have access to the FPMT's, prayer book, they have these beautiful little morning mantras in there. And they're very quick and easy to do. Can do them in a couple of minutes. So let's just settle into meditation for 3 minutes. We'll just do 3 minutes and then we'll start talking, and then we can do some 9-round breathing before we do our first meditation. And just notice if your mind's wandering. Perhaps bring your attention back to the breath. Maybe feel or notice different sensations in the body. Just being aware of what's going on for you. Last week we talked about discerning wisdom and we worked a little bit with thoughts, and we will do that meditation again today, just as a reminder. We also looked at the releasing certain types of thoughts and maybe categorizing our thoughts. So, getting some organization there. Like when you're thinking, you can simply say, I'm thinking, or when you're planning ahead for dinner, you can go, oh, I'm planning. So in a way, this kind of stops the conversation. Mhm. So when we apply mindfulness and discerning wisdom to our thoughts, we do become aware of the variety of thinking we're engaging in. And not all of our thoughts are necessarily harmful or dysfunctional. In fact, we engage in quite a lot of functional thinking. And that's what contributes to our success as a species and adapting to different living conditions. And that, our functional thinking is vital to our problem solving and our creativity. So when we're practicing mindfulness of thoughts, we become more proficient in recognizing thinking as thinking. And we can just continue to refine our discernment. Think of your discernment as a superpower and differentiate the different types of thinking our attention is involved in. So you can go back again and think of thoughts about the past could be noticed as remembering, those as planning, and those in fantasy and dreaming as in daydreaming, and so on. And in this way, we can become more mindful and a little wiser with regards to the types of habit thinking we tend to engage in. So we all probably recognize we have certain habitual thought processes. So mindfulness and discerning wisdom can invoke appropriate functional thinking that strengthens the nature of these thoughts. So even though we may be using just a few simple terms like remembering, worrying, daydreaming, and so on, we need to realize that this act of kind of noting and labeling with these words or these concepts, it's also a form of thinking. You're basically putting things into little categories, like your budget. So it's almost like you're budgeting your thoughts. You have your like chart of accounts for bookkeepers in the room of your thoughts. And you can, in a way, regard this as functional thinking because It serves the function of helping to strengthen the discernment as thoughts. So we protect our mind from falling back into believing in and following involuntary thoughts. And we can also, it also reinforces, when we recognize the type of habitual thinking our mind may tend to get caught up in. So then you start to understand these underlying reactivities that drive our choices and our actions. And then also it helps this to initiate this process of releasing and letting go. And we kind of withdraw our attention, our belief in the contents of our habitual thinking and reactivity. Because eventually you'll start to realize this is not the reality of your life. Some of this is we just make it up. And then we get all upset about it. It's all just made up stuff. So we're going to revisit now the meditation on mindfulness of thoughts. And this time around, we're going to refine the discernment of thoughts as thoughts by thinking the different types of thinking, differentiating between the different types of thinking. So, where our attention is focused. So we can replace the simple label of thinking with other labels that might better reflect what's going on in your mind. So, the labels that you use are best to have like a neutral tone so you don't provoke any negativity or judgmental attitude towards yourself or your thoughts. So some possible labels could include remembering, planning, daydreaming, worrying, judging, anger, and so on. And this way we can become more mindful and a little bit more discerning into the types of habitual thinking we tend to engage in. You also become familiar with what's going on in your mind. And this is, once you know what's there, then you can do something about it. So before we do that, we'll do our 9-round breathing. So just settle back in. And so because everyone here knows how to do it, I think what we'll do is I will lead the first one and then we can, first round, and then we can do the other 2 rounds in our own time. So start by placing this top part of your right finger on your left nostril and just to close it and just very gently breathe in blissful radiant white light through the right nostril, pausing at the top of the breath, and then exhale through the left all your dissatisfaction energy, all your kind of unhealthy attachments and grasping and neediness. And breathe in through the right light. Pause at the top of the breath and then exhale through the left all of your unhealthy attachment and your dissatisfaction. And breathing in through the right light. Pause at the top of the breath and then exhale all of your dissatisfaction energy. Then change hands and breathing in through the left nostril light. Pause at the top of the breath and then exhale through the right all of your anger, bitterness, grudges, jealousy. Breathe that out as thick black yucky smoke and breathing in through the left light. Pausing at the top of the breath and then exhale through the right all of your anger. And breathing in through the left light. And pause and exhale through the right all of your anger energy. And breathing in through both nostrils, light. Pause and then exhale all of your ignorance. So ignorance can be just what ignorance means to you. In this particular tradition, ignorance, we're talking about not understanding or appreciating this natural law of karma, cause and effect. They call it karma. And then also we're talking about ignorance as being when you sort of look at something or a relationship or a thing and you think it's fixed and permanent. We just know factually, scientifically, that things are not that way, but we still see them as they are that way. And we also think that we're that way as well. We also think that we're fixed and impermanent and that when we die, we're going to be annihilated. I don't know if this is just like built into our DNA, but this is what we tend to feel. So they call that ignorance. So breathing in light and breathe out all of your ignorance energy. And breathe in light one more time. And then exhale all of your ignorance. Just imagine, just feel like you're, cleaning out all your confusion and just cleaning the dust off the mirror of your wisdom. So now we'll do 2 more rounds of that, and you do them in your own time. And start by breathing in through the right nostril. So just allowing your body, bringing your mind back to your breath. Just allowing your spine to be in its natural position and with the natural curves, but try and align your shoulders with your hips. Resting your hands on, either in your lap or on some physical support. Just allow your shoulders to be relaxed. If you want to leave your eyes open, I would suggest you have them angled down and cracked open just a little bit to allow some light in. We get very easily visually distracted, particularly if you are a very visual person. If you're feeling sleepy, it's always good to occasionally do that anyway, just to crack open the eyes a little bit, allow light in. So then just now return your attention to your body and be in touch with the simple sensations there. Maybe some tingling, maybe some pressure, maybe warmth. And just notice areas of softness and ease and relaxation and comfortable feelings. And can you welcome these feelings and allow yourself to enjoy them while they are here? And perhaps you notice areas where you're tight or not really comfortable. And can you just simply acknowledge those for the time being? Maybe don't feel you have to change them immediately for the better. Perhaps see if you can just let them be. And now just check in with the sensations on your face. In your face, on your face. Are you tensing up any of the facial muscles? Your forehead, your eyes, your cheeks, your jaw, the way you hold your mouth. And can you relax those muscles very gently and let in a different feeling, one of softness and ease and comfort to your face? And just allow this sort of softening and relaxation to spread on its own to the rest of your body and help just allowing your body to settle into meditation in its own time. And among the different bodily sensations, see if you can detect those associated with breathing. So you may notice the subtle sensations of the air flowing in and out of the nostrils. You may notice your chest expanding and contracting with each breath. You may notice the rising and falling of the belly. And rest your attention on one of these breath sensations, one of these areas, allowing yourself to fully experience your inhale and your exhale. So rest your attention here and feel your breath. And each time you notice yourself breathing out, use it as an opportunity to release, releasing anything unhelpful or unwanted. Just like we breathe stale air out, to let go of this kind of exchanged air from our lungs. So you can think of your breath as a resting place for your attention, your mindful attention, a place you can always come back to at any time to steady yourself. So your introspection, that kind of like inner detective, is at some point will alert you to the presence of thoughts, or that you're already thinking something. So turn your attention mindfully to these thoughts and recognize we're engaged in thinking. So you might mentally make a note, thinking, to be clear about what we've discerned. And then without getting entangled in the contents of those thoughts, we can gently return our attention to the breath and release those thoughts on the out breath. So you can apply this to the other types of thoughts as well. So if you're thinking if you're kind of thinking about what to make for dinner, or what you're going to do over the weekend, or some work project you might have on. So you probably think, oh, I'm planning. This is the category called planning. And it really helps to separate you from getting all involved in all the kind of the content and the dialogue and the movie and the projections. And the same with ruminating. Oh, here I go again. This is this habit. I'm ruminating. And you're just separating yourself from getting entangled with the contents of the rumination. I'm ruminating. And there's no judgment in that statement. There's just a fact. And when you recognize your attention is drawn into thinking, and then you think, what kind of thinking? Just take a note of it as such, and then bring your mind back to the breath. So now just relax and let me know if you have anything you'd like to share about that meditation. Something to drink. It's kind of thirsty weather here, but it may not be where you are. Anybody have anything they want to say? Otherwise, I'll just keep going.
I think
Yes, Roger.
I started a new activity of trying to categorize my thoughts.
Oh dear, I'm sorry. Did you give your thoughts a chart of accounts?
Um, it was just very interesting because if I was clear I was having a thought, but I couldn't really categorize it. And then I'm like, am I daydreaming or just thinking about this new book?
Uh-oh, okay.
So that was very interesting.
So you were getting very detailed in your thought
Yeah, I
processes.
wasn't running down the path, but I did
Oh,
have a thought. So for example, I started reading a new book today,
uh-huh,
listening to a new audiobook, and I was thinking about something they said. And then I
uh-huh.
was like, wait a minute, what is that?
That's
What am
remembering.
I trying to do? Am I trying to explore what's next in the book or
Oh, I see. You got quite detailed there.
Yeah.
And that's
And,
okay.
and the other thing I noticed, I don't usually go backwards. Like
Yeah.
I'm always,
Yeah.
often I'm forward
Going forward.
looking, not
Yes. Yeah.
always,
Yeah.
and backward looking.
Yeah. It's interesting too, because I've started to notice some people that I'm talking to are ruminating about the past, and they're focused on, oh, I wish I hadn't done that, or wish I hadn't done that, or wish this could have been different. And then other people are thinking into the future. And so it's really interesting that some people prefer one over the other. Yeah, that's really, anyway, thank you for sharing that. But what I think you mentioned something, what I think was really important about what you said is that even though you were trying to figure out what kind of thinking you were engaged in, you had stopped thinking about the contents of what you were
Correct,
thinking. Yeah.
correct,
So that's
correct.
kind of, at least that part of it worked. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Anybody else? Thank you, Ranji. Anyone else? No? Nothing? Okay. Let's keep going. We're going to talk about analytical thinking and functional thinking now. It's a beautiful meditation coming up, actually. So you can just settle back into your meditation and listen. So when we pay attention with our mind to an object of interest, we can examine and evaluate it, in general or in detail. So when you start to examine and evaluate, you could think about applying concepts and reasoning to gain a better understanding of the object. And this type of meditation is called analytical meditation. And Ranji, I think this is what you may have been doing, but forgive me if I'm wrong. You may have been doing this, starting to analyze the types of thoughts that you were having in quite a bit of detail and categorizing them. So we're going to move to something kind of positive here. So think about, for example, this practice of loving kindness. So metta. You often hear this practice of loving kindness in the Theravada tradition, in the Vipassana tradition. But it's universal. So when you bring to mind a loved one, by allowing a visual image of the person to appear to you. So we did that earlier. We brought our loved ones to our mind. So you're attending to this person in your mind with mindful attention. And then you can further reflect and examine what we know about, your loved one. And especially in terms of their good qualities and their many loving, kind actions towards us. And then you may have a sort of a feeling, like a heartfelt feeling of loving kindness may arise in your heart. And in this way, mindfulness, reflection, and discerning wisdom have contributed to enhance this beautiful quality of loving kindness. So then we can also apply the same process to ourselves, making ourselves the focus of our own reflection and practice of loving kindness. So this practice of mindfulness and discerning wisdom not only allows us to inquire and kind of gain a better understanding of the object or topic under consideration, we can also further nurture really positive qualities that have arisen and give mindful attention to them. So this is some of the benefits of mindfulness in the context of analytical meditation. So before we start this meditation, I want you, because I know people find this a little challenging, I want you to just reflect for a moment on your own good qualities. And you can start by thinking about what you needed to put into place in order to come here for an hour and a half at this time of the evening. And that took focus and organization and a decision that you wanted to do some practice and a commitment to yourself and to your own practice. Then maybe sort of start thinking about some of your good qualities. You know, what are the things that you're actually skilled at doing? What are you good at? What are the positive things that other people say to you or about you? How have you helped other people? How have they fed back to you? Or it was really, when you said that, it really helped me so much. So see if you can put yourself in front of yourself and just look at yourself and think about all your good qualities. And maybe in the morning or before, next time you go into the bathroom and you look into the mirror, maybe just say hello to yourself and ask yourself how you are. And maybe look at yourself and revisit these positive qualities that you have. It's really, somehow people don't find this one easy. But I just wanted to introduce this idea to you because we're going to say a few phrases that best convey our understanding of what it means to love and to be kind. And these phrases, they'll be repeated during the meditation. I'll repeat them. You can repeat them in your mind and become thoughts that express loving intention and serve as a support for our mindfulness to return to. So if you get distracted, you can return to these, these phrases. So you can also actively engage in reflecting on the various reasons that can be the basis for extending loving kindness towards ourselves. Bring into mind your own good qualities, your ethics, the things you've done that are really wholesome, and your natural desire to be happy. You can, if you do this meditation again, you can choose different words. You can change them as we go along. And by repeating slowly and mindfully these praises, we start channeling our attention in the direction of genuine care and loving concern towards ourselves. And then we also want to allow our heart time to respond with, appropriate feelings when it's ready. So your awareness kind of encompasses both yourself as the object of kindness and the inner quality of loving kindness itself. And it just you just kind of soak your heart and your mind with this. So in between repetition, again, just remember to pause and reflect on the basis of having yourself as the recipient of your own loving kindness and concern. So, as we did earlier, everyone wants to be happy. Everyone doesn't want to suffer. And this is a really valid reason to be kind to yourself. So you can think about other reasons to strengthen your quality of loving kindness towards yourself. Go back to seeing how all the goodness within you. Think about past experiences of happiness. Wish that for yourself now. And for some people, there's no reason to extend loving kindness towards yourself. So just check your posture, check your spine and lengthen your spine. Make sure your arms are relaxed. Just check in with the simple sensations in your body. Settling yourself into meditation again. Noticing the areas of softness and ease, relaxation. Can you welcome these feelings and allow yourself to enjoy them while they are here? Perhaps you have tension or tightness or discomfort. Can you simply acknowledge these for the time being? Maybe you don't need to change them for the better. Perhaps just let them be. And then bring your attention to your face. Is your face relaxed or are you tensing up your muscles? And just relax your forehead, your eyes, your jaw. Can you very gently relax these muscles and let in a different feeling of softness and comfort? And then just allow this softening and relaxation to spread in its own time to the rest of your body, helping your body to settle into meditation. So now moving on to this meditation on loving kindness towards yourself. There's a few phrases here. These are really good, they're excellent to express an understanding of what it means to love and care and show concern. So these are the phrases that they've recommended in this course, but you can choose your own. Anyway, the first one, may I live in safety. So wishing oneself to feel safe and have security in life. May I be happy. Wishing oneself to feel joy, cheerfulness, and happiness in the mind and heart. May I be healthy. Wishing oneself to enjoy physical health and well-being. May I live with ease. Wishing one's daily life and work to flow smoothly and easily. So see how they're landing. May I live in safety. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. And so you repeat these phrases slowly, mindfully to yourself at your own pace. And stay connected to the intention behind the words. And extend loving kindness towards yourself. May I live in safety. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. May I live in safety. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. So maybe if you're not feeling particularly loving towards yourself, you can just allow your heart plenty of time to respond in its own way. We're just relying on the words to guide our heart towards loving kindness. And we're used to doing this for others. May you be happy, may you live in safety, may you be healthy, may you live with ease. We're used to saying this to others. I don't know how used to we are to doing this for ourselves. May I live in safety. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. So occasionally a warm feeling may arise of love and kindness towards yourself. So when these feelings arise, see if you can entwine them among the phrases and offer them back to yourself. May I live in safety. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. So in between the repetitions, you can maybe reflect on the basis that support, promote loving kindness towards yourself. Deep down, we all want to be happy. We don't want to suffer. And just pause for a moment and think, is this true for me? How does wanting to be happy manifest in my life? What kinds of things do I do to make myself happy? What do I need to be happy? And then when you're ready, you can just come back to the phrases again, continuing to offer loving kindness to yourself. May I live in safety. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. May I live in safety. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. So we can also reflect on other reasons that activate, loving kindness towards ourselves. So some of us may see, goodness inside of us. And some people might recognize past experiences of happiness and want that to continue. May I live in safety. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. And so sometimes we have a message in our mind that sort of says, you don't deserve this. It's just like something we don't even recognize. And that's maybe an old habit. May I live in safety. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. So we'll just reflect on that, meditate on that for another 3 minutes, and then I will check in with everyone before we close. Okay, everyone, just relax. So what I'd like to do now, if you're happy to share, is just to ask each person, how was it to think of your good qualities? Were you able to think of some? And how was it to extend those loving kindness phrases towards yourself? So Patty's right in front of me on the top center. You want to start?
Sure. So the may I live in safety. That's one thing that I've never really incorporated into something, and it's so precious to live in safety. It's just precious. I mean, we all know what's going on in the world and has been going on, and to know I can walk out my door and be perfectly fine. And so that's really precious. I don't know what else to call it. So, yeah.
It struck me too the first time I did this meditation as well, that may I live in safety. Because we take it for granted. We don't think about it. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Patty. And how was it to do to think about the positive qualities?
It was good. It was good.
It wasn't difficult?
Oh, I've been practicing.
Oh, good. I'm really glad to hear that. Well done, Patty. Thank you.
It's still difficult, but
I know, so
yeah,
crazy,
yeah,
isn't
yeah. So
it? All right. Thank you. Thank you. John, were you able to think of any good qualities of your own?
Maybe calm and happy and
Okay. And so was that okay for you? Was it easy for you or?
yeah, I've done some loving kindness practice.
Okay.
I like I said, I've done it.
And the the phrases, were they okay for you to say? Were you able to bring them into your heart?
Yeah, I guess not entirely, but mostly.
Okay. It's a little challenging, I know. Okay. That's great. Thank you. Laurie, so how was it to uh, give yourself some positive feedback? Because I noticed you smiling there.
Yeah,
I was
well, no,
like,
I'm laughing because right before this whole series of classes started, I got some feedback. I My whole life people have told me I'm hard on myself.
uh-huh.
And and I somebody was telling me you're hard on yourself, and I'm like, yeah, I'm hard on myself. And they're like, don't do that,
Yeah.
and it kind of stuck. Like, why am I like this has become like my personality? Like, why am I doing this to myself? What is it getting me? And so then we started this whole series, and like the first week, Patty, you transformed Patty's bathroom into the good for you Patty room, right?
Yeah.
It was like, oh my God. And like I will always think of the good for you Patty room now. So I think for
Every
me,
time you go into the bathroom.
yeah, I promise Patty I don't, but
You're right.
but I think it's just really helpful to be getting this from different places. So yeah, it's really hard to think of positive things about myself.
Okay.
And I think it's really helpful to be guided to do that. So thank you.
Okay. And the phrases, are they helpful?
They are. I definitely am struggling with concentration,
Mm.
but I feel like I'm just like getting, you know, little drips and drabs, but
Okay.
it's coming.
Yep. And it'll come as well with the concentration as well. So don't worry about it too much. Just think I'm doing the best I can right now.
Yep.
That's good. Thank you. Thank you, Laurie. And Sheila, how was it to give yourself some positive feedback?
Um, there's a lot of resistance, but
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
I'm sort of breaking down and being more receptive to it.
Good.
So,
Fantastic.
yeah, I notice I'm not totally resistant. I'm more like just take it easy,
Okay.
like not don't have that knee-jerk reaction all the time.
Were you
So
heading in the right direction?
yeah,
Yeah.
so
And the phrases,
um, helpful, helpful,
in
good
what way?
advice. Yeah.
Helpful in what way?
Um, just to remember good qualities, not to always be, sort of focusing on the negative,
Okay.
and to believe that that's that's real. It's not just fabrication.
I see. So which one of the phrases, which of those words sort of struck home most for you?
Uh, um, I don't know. I couldn't really like pinpoint it.
Because like for Patty, it was, may I live in safety. Was there one that you felt more resistant to or less resistant to or could accept in your heart a little more easily?
Well, again, I have been thinking about safety. I guess it's because everything that's going on in the world and trying
Right.
to
Okay.
generate gratitude for my life. But
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
but to be happy is like always like I'm always
Yeah.
like searching the unhappy, so
Right. So you want to
take that in
train.
and accept it and see that it's
Yeah.
it's really it's there.
Yes, of course it's there. And also it's important that you recognize you deserve to be happy as well.
Mhm.
It's your birthright. I think
Working on
I saw a blog of Venerable Rabina the other day, just sort of saying, just think happy thoughts. And, it's almost like, gosh, that sounds so simplistic. It sounds easier said than done. But actually, if you catch yourself ruminating on a bunch of negative thoughts and then you start to change it and think some positive thoughts, it's like these phrases. It sort of starts out a bit clunky and a bit fake. And then after a while, it changes.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's not the easiest thing in the world, too. But anyway, thank you, Sheila, for sharing. Well done. Thank you. And Linda, we are going to go over a bit, Patty. Is that all right?
I'll be quick.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I watched The Wisdom of Happiness this week,
Oh, it's
like
a
3 times.
beautiful movie, isn't
And
it?
there's a
My
point, I
goodness.
think everyone remembers when His Holiness says, I love myself.
Wow.
And it was, but not, I'm not self-cherishing, how he talks.
Yes.
And I thought, well, that's why he can give so much,
Yes.
So as we
Yeah.
were doing this, I thought, well, maybe I'll be able to give more if I feel that way,
Yeah.
if you don't feel down, you feel like you have something to give.
Mm-hmm.
So I've actually been thinking about that all week.
Oh,
So
amazing.
this was perfect.
Okay, great. And
And the phrase would be happiness.
happiness.
Although I have to say, I used "May I be safe" when I'm driving a lot.
Yes, okay,
And
good. Where do you live again?
I live in Brooklyn.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good
Yeah.
one. Okay. Ranji.
So I thought it was really interesting reflecting on my good qualities because I know what my good qualities are based on what people have said to me.
Okay.
Like I'm very generous, very kind, very helpful. But I don't see those acts of generosity or kindness as or helpful. I just see them as things to be done. So it's kind of like when someone says, "Oh my God, you were so generous, you did X, Y, and Z for the, whatever." I just saw it was something to be done, and I did it. And so it's really interesting. I don't really relate back to, "Oh my God, I was so generous that time."
Right.
That doesn't work like that. And I
Yeah.
think as far as the phrases go, and I'm a little bit unclear, the one that caught my attention the most was "May I live in safety."
Yeah, interesting.
And there's something about it that's making me reflect that perhaps I didn't think I was living in safety.
Oh, interesting.
But
Okay.
yeah, that was the phrase that really stood out for me.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's something for reflection for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. I think it's interesting. I think all of us end up with the qualities we all have to reflect on. Well, what was it that so and so said to me? It's and like you were saying, Ranji, it's just something you do. You don't kind of think of it as a positive quality. It's just something that you do. So then here we have to sort of start thinking about reflecting upon the things that we just do that are helpful to others that are actually positive qualities. So we don't assign that label to them. But what you were saying indicated to me that we all have this worry about being kind of boastful and, you know, hey, I did this thing, but that's not really, it's like Linda was saying about His Holiness. It's that self-cherishing. What His Holiness is very confident in his love for himself and his love for others and his respect for his human rebirth, which I think is extraordinary. And he has had an extraordinary rebirth this time around. Yeah. Anyway, thank you. Alexandra.
Hi.
Hi.
I am always very touched by the loving kindness meditation, and I've done it a lot. And for me, you said something earlier, which is the deserving part. And that is a struggle for me, the deserving. For me, the loving kindness phrase, may I live in peace and ease, is particularly powerful and important for me.
Mm.
So it was a beautiful experience to do this with you all.
Okay. Thank you, Alexandra. Mary.
Well, I've been to two Venerable Robina's teachings this week, and so I've got this, honey child, you are good enough. I've got this in my brain from her right now, that I did a good job, and to keep reinforcing positive thoughts. And so I've been, by going to the teachings, it just helps remind me to reinforce the positive things because it's easy to go down the rabbit hole instead. So I don't know, I guess having the class tonight and then, going to Venerable's teachings and hearing that I'm doing okay. It reminds me of my good qualities and gives me time to reflect on that. And then the may I live in safety, happy, healthy, and live with ease. I just love that. Because it brings me to the present. Otherwise, I'm future tripping about something or I'm going somewhere in the past. And those four phrases make me really here right now. Because then I actually think about it. Like I think of, it really not forces me, but it makes me recognize the things that I'm really in gratitude for right this minute and what I have. Like because what I have is the present. And in the present, I have these things. And it can change. So I guess it just saying them out loud, it makes me present and in gratitude.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Mary. Thank you for that. Everyone, we have to go, but I wanted Patty just to explain to everybody what Dharma hours are and that you're welcome to sign up.
Yeah, Dharma hours are you get 25 minutes with Venerable Katy for a one-on-one chat. And they're next Friday from 6 to 6:25 and then 6:30 to 6:55. So it will end right before the class
There's only
begins.
two slots.
Yes.
But what if more people want to come?
Well, that's up to you. Do you want to extend your Dharma office hours, Venerable Katy?
If more people want to come, then we should extend them if that's all right. Otherwise, we can make it 15 minutes. But if only if only one or two people come, that's fine. But if more people want to come, then
Okay.
I'm happy to extend them if it's okay with you guys.
Sure. So would you want to do that, Venerable Katy, before class extension or an after class?
I can't do after class, so it would be before.
Before, okay. And start maybe 30 minutes before, an hour before,
Yeah,
something like that.
just see who
See
wants
who
to
does.
come and
Okay,
who
super.
won't. Yeah.
We can do that. We
Okay,
can,
great.
yeah,
Alrighty.
with Sheila's help, I can manage Airtable and do that.
Okay. All right, everyone.
All right,
So
super.
let's just dedicate any insights, any creative energy that you may have had today. And thank you so much, everyone, for sharing all your beautiful reflections and ideas and insights. It's just so touching to hear everyone share and so openly as well. So thank you very much. And then I will see you, some of you in the Dharma hours, and then also then at the session at 7. And okay, so just want to send you all lots of love. And thank you, Patty and Sheila and Shanti Deva. All right, everyone. And then I'll see you next week. Okay. So next week we do loving kindness for others, and you'll find it's a lot easier. That's
Thank
why
you.
they do this one first. Okay. All right, everyone.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you all.
Good
Thank you,
night. See you.
Venerable. Good night,
Bye.